We're ourselves a Champions League doubleheader today. We are playing the final two league phase games of this year's Champions League in the hope that we can get through and start on the journey of the knockouts through to what will hopefully be a Champions League final for the second year in a row that this year we could actually win. That'd be lovely. Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 14 of Club 4 of the MyCareer save here on Football Manager. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet on today's video with our current club, Arsenal, where we're going to be playing against Celtic and PAOK in the final two Champions League phase games. There's got to be a cleaner way to say Champions League phase. I don't like the league phase. No, actually, I've softened up on it. I didn't like it to begin with. I have softened up on it. I don't mind it as much now. It's actually in real life and it's kind of shown what it can do. I'm still not... Give me a group stage anytime. Anyway, that's off the point. As I said, games today, Celtic, PAOK. What's not to love about that? But if you're excited to see whether we can win one of those games, both of those games, personally, kind of hoping for both of them, then don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the nonsense that you might have noticed just comes out of this face every now and then. So, since you were last with me, the last game we played was Inter, a little while ago now. As you can see right there, the draw against Inter. We've won every game other than the last game we played, which was away from home against Everton. I don't know what happened with that one. We really struggled. We did have injuries. We have had, actually, since the Inter game, a number of injury issues, which are starting to sort themselves out. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. Now, I mean, you can see there's some good, decent results in here. We obviously managed to get through in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup against Spurs. That was a bit nervy. I won't lie to you. I didn't enjoy that as much. I enjoyed it when we won it, but could have done without going to penalties on that one. We battered Chelsea there 4-0. That was lovely. Manchester City beat them 3-0 there, which is good because in between today's games there is an FA Cup game against them. Hopefully we can do the same thing. And then you'll probably notice that we played Derby 3 times. Inexplicably, they got to the Carabao Cup semi-final, so we put them to bed 4-0 in the home leg, 2-1 in the away leg. And in the FA Cup, it was basically a pre-season friendly. Battered them 10-0, barely needed to break a sweat, to the point where we managed to start this guy, Carlos Segovia. He's a left-back who can play as a left winger, who had a bit more potential than that when I first started using him, but he's still got a decent amount, so I have been using him. He's only a 1.5 star left-back, though, so, I mean, he should be at League One level. And there he is going and having a go against the Championship team in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. I played him in all 3 Carabao Cup games. That's probably all the first team football he's going to get this season, so hopefully he's not gotten used to it. But yeah, and then the Everton game, that was... We were on a good run. So it's one of those. It had to end at some point. It was, up until that point, a completely unbeaten season. And I hadn't noticed that until just before I started recording this video and looked at it. I was just like, we have not lost a game yet, but now we have. So we're not doing any Invincibles. That was never on the agenda, by the way, but we were close. Well, I say we were close. We're halfway through the year. Maybe we were. Maybe we weren't. We don't know what comes in the future. I'm waffling on. We have made some transfers. Let's have a look at the transfers that we've made. We don't have much of a transfer budget because the club has taken the money off of us because, you know, I'm not very responsible financially. We've got debt at the club, but only this is transfer debt. I don't know what this debt is. And there's nothing here that kind of indicates it. I don't know whether that's just money that we're losing, but it's more than what's here. I don't understand finances in this football game. I really don't. So it is what it is. Not my problem, hopefully, after this season, because I won't be here. At least that's the plan anyway. One big transfer out, and it's Ethan Waneri, who I was going to keep around because he's a homegrown club player. However, we had a decent offering for him. Now, he's worth a lot more now, apparently, but I think a lot of that has to do with his contract and the fact he's still got some years in him. But for us, he wasn't really getting in the first team. 61 million doesn't look like a lot when you compare that wage, but compare that rate that he's currently worth. Bear in mind, of course, he's an English player abroad now. There's a premium on that, and also bear in mind that while he was here, the contract he had wasn't as high. He wasn't playing much football, and his value was like 48 million tops. I was quite happy with 61 million for someone we weren't using, that we can then use that money to reimburse back into the club. Well, some of it got kept by the club. It was no brainer for me. So he's gone to Inter. He can take his inconsistency and plague them with it. And then I use that not to bring in another attacking player, because actually I think we're fine with attacking players. I brought in Levi Colwill, formerly of Chelsea in real life, Manchester City and Real Madrid in this universe. Played almost 100 times for Real Madrid. In fact, in all competitions, he probably did play 100 times for them. But yeah, we've signed him for 30 million, which I think is an absolute bargain for the quality of player. He's a 4-star defender. He's only got 20 England caps at 29. I mean, centre-back, I think, has got quite a bit of competition in the England setup. He will have at some point been playing alongside the... do you know what? I forget. I remember Levi Colwill, but I forget the name of Manchester City's English defender. I always forget the name of him, and his name is Rico Lewis. That's it. Always forget his name. Don't know why. So they would have been playing together for a little period here, which would have been quite interesting. But yeah, I brought him in, £30 million. I think for a player with his experience, with his ability, absolute bargain. Really, really happy with that as a deal. So yeah, really happy indeed. So that means that squad-wise, I'm pretty happy, because what it allows us to do if we want to is, I've got, obviously Colwill has just come, so he's on the bench for this game. He'll probably come on at some point. But it means that we've now got Laskowski, Satalo, Harto, Colwill, and also the man himself, George Armstrong. But George Armstrong, actually, his best position is the defensive midfielder. So what it does mean is, if we wanted to, we've got Colwill, Harto, Laskowski and Satalo. And now we've got Armstrong, who can go over to here and just give us another defensive-minded option, rather than either Marcotta, who's still getting there, and Gavi, who's a more offensive option. It also allows Gavi to potentially play in one of these playmaking roles if we need it. It also allows a bit more cover at left-back for Joel Harto, who's the reason why I've changed this to full-back on attack, because if we have a look at him as a full-back, it is one of his best positions. Automatic is the best one, but attack is also one of them. He's got decent crossing as well, and his off the ball isn't too bad, but he's also very good defensively. So I'm not afraid of starting Joel Harto at any point. I'm not starting him today because the shade of green on the heart is not quite what it needs to be, so he is going to be on the bench for this one. So yeah, I just wanted to talk you through what my thought process was on that, because it's a bit weird. We sold an attacker, signed a defender, but it gives us a bit more defensive flexibility. And yeah, I'm delighted with it. Now, speaking of things I'm delighted with, Premier League, this is how it currently looks. Got a 2-point gap, obviously due to the loss against Everton, but we also have 2 games in hand. That's a net 8-point gap if we win both of those games in hand. From second place, Wolves. I'm delighted Wolves are in second place, and they're 7 points ahead in second place with level on games. Delighted with the fact that our former club is doing so well. Scorers in the league and things of that nature. Bukayo Saka's still second. He's now the best player in the league, and he's also third on the assist chart. Owusu Oduro is the best goalkeeper in the world. He won the award for it, and he has got 11 clean sheets. Bukayo Saka as well won an award this season. World Player of the Year, it wasn't that one. Footballer of the Year, that was it. And Mathis Tel got third, so he won that. The goal 50, Mathis Tel has won that. I think he might have already known that. Next Gen, Raul Iglesias won last year, so we haven't had that drawn just yet. Under 21 Footballer of the Year, I don't think was anything to do with us, but the goalkeeper of the year was Owusu Oduro. So there we go. He didn't win the Golden Glove because that hasn't been drawn yet, but there we go. We've got a couple of award winners in our team, so very happy with the players that we've got. Right, I have really waffled on long enough, so this is the 11 that we're going to be using against Celtic at home. It is Owusu Oduro in goal, Tokic, Laskowski, Satalo and Kadioglu in defence, Marcotta, Shokwist and Darvic in the middle, with Iglesias and Saka supporting Pitchford up front. Yes, I am playing Saka on the left-hand side. What of it? It's mainly because he's been fantastic for us recently. The left side has become a little bit of a problem. If we'd still had the other money from the Colwill deal and he didn't get swallowed up by the club, then I'd have probably looked for another left-sided player. Well, no, would I have done? I don't know if I would have done, to be fair. I probably wouldn't have. I'm probably talking a big game there without actually backing it up. I probably wouldn't have done, but we do need to have a look at the players who play there. To be fair, Mathis Tel has just come back from an injury. Martinez's been a bit inconsistent here and there. And we're just unlucky that Iglesias can only play on the right-hand side, because he's very good at playing on the right-hand side, but he can only play on the right-hand side. So he's quite limited in his use. So that's why he's starting today, because he's been in great form. fantastic form even. He's been sublime, and he's almost undroppable at the moment. Someone else, and I don't want to give the commentator's curse too. I think because I thought it, I think I've just done that because he's given the ball away there. Tokic at left. Tokic at right back. I'm getting the name and the position all wrong. Tokic at right back has been a bit of a quiet revelation this season. Like, he's got up to 2.5 stars, so I'm more confident in using him in bigger games. He genuinely has been pretty fantastic for us at times. Like, assists, just absolute machine. Pitchford's in here, and there is Daniel Pitchford with a goal on camera, which is an absolute delight. And of course, it's a goal in the Champions League, because it's the Champions League and he loves this competition above all others. Because why not? Oh, it's a great interception now. I think that's from Shockwist. It is indeed. I wonder if it will count as his assist, actually. That'll be interesting to find out. But it is 1-0, and that is the most important thing inside 5 minutes. So yeah, Tokic has been really good. Marcotta as well has been really good. When we've had an injury to Marcotta, we've really noticed it. Satalo. Satalo, it's his final season at the club. He is leaving on a free. I've let his contract run down. We wouldn't get much money from him anyway. I'm quite happy just to have another 6 months of use of him, because he's just a really good other centre-back to have. But we've already covered that by Colwill coming in. So I've got no real issues with that. Laskowski's been getting more game time. He's been looking good as well, to be fair. Kadioglu, I think he's had offers in for him. His contract is also up at the end of the season. So yeah, if we are here for one more year, I kind of hope we're not, because we should be good enough, I think, this season to win the Champions League, depending on who we get drawn against. I mean, I'm still salty that we lost against Bayer Leverkusen in the final, but I think we've improved as a team as the season's gone on. Pitchford's in here, it's offside, it's not going to count. Pitchford doing Pitchford things, getting goals, but not having them count because he's miles offside. We did have an offer in, actually, for Owusu Oduro, but the reason I didn't take it, although I've talked a lot about wanting to replace him, the second I saw that he's the best goalkeeper in the world, I thought, well, there's no point. Because there's no better out there, is there? Because if he's classed as the best goalkeeper in the world, there isn't better out there. And the fact that he's top of the clean sheet charts in the Premier League, bear in mind we just lost a game against Everton as well, so we would have been ahead even more had we won that game and kept a clean sheet. Then you know, there's no point in replacing him, because he made the occasional clanger fine. He's been pretty good for us, to be fair. He has been pretty good. I've just thought, hang on, it's 2-0. Sorry, I forgot about Satalo's goal. I was going to say, why is it 2-0? That goal got disallowed. They did get disallowed. Satalo also scored. Iglesias goes back to Darvic, and Noah Darvic, considering he went ages without scoring a goal, has got his 10th of the season in January from midfield. So he's definitely picked things up. I really didn't like the idea of playing two advanced playmakers in the middle. It suits Noah Darvic and it suits Shockwist, and they're playing well together. And my worry was, as their playmakers, they won't want to get goals too often. What a stupid thing that was to say. You've seen the amount of goals that Shockwist has scored on camera, and you've seen Noah Darvic doing it as well, and they're doing it on the semi-regular at the moment, which is really nice to see. Right, it is a set piece for Celtic. It's kind of a shame that Alfie McRae is no longer here, obviously on loan at RB Leipzig, because it would have been nice to have him play against his former club here. I'm sure we signed him from Celtic. Right, Darvic into Pitchford. That, I think, was offside anyway. No, it wasn't actually. It was just a really poor finish. For someone who's got decent finishing, he's not got the best finishing, Pitchford. Don't get me wrong, it's like 15 or 16. It's not top elite superstar striker finishing. It's not like an Mbappe or a Haaland or anyone like that, but it's good enough that he should really be getting a goal there, and it's a bit disappointing. Now, that is not in any way, shape or form a penalty. Not in any way, shape or form is that a penalty. I'm going on record as saying that, just in case there's any questions of yeah, I was going to say, just in case any questions of any funny games going on. No funny games here, didn't tell him to do that whatsoever. I knew that wasn't a penalty. Just want to make sure that the record is clear, Your Honour. 3-0, absolutely fine with that. If we can get a fourth, I'll be even more delighted, but more than happy with that. I'm pretty sure we're settled in the top 8 at this point. It is going to be a free kick just at the end of the half for Celtic. Just over the bar, hits the top of the netting, nothing else. That, I think, in a moment. Oh, got one more highlight, maybe? It's going to be us with a free kick, actually. Iglesias to Tokic to Saka. What a set-piece routine that was. And Noah Darvic has put it in the back of the net. Flag is not up. There is a question about it, though. But I think Noah Darvic has gone and got himself a second goal today. Hands are up, it's a goal, 100%. There we go. We have got the fourth that I was looking for. Bit of a weird one. Lovely little set-piece routine. It ends up getting saved, but Darvic is there just to pounce on it. And we do make it four. Since I've changed my set-piece routines, I do have to say, we've been getting a few more of those kind of rebound from set-piece goals. Not like a lot more noticeably, but I'd never really got them before. Yeah, we are starting to get them now, so I'm quite happy with that. I tell the midfield that I am happy with them. I'm going to tell everyone that I'm happy with them. I've already upset Noah Darvic, to be fair. I'm hoping that doesn't impact his chances on getting a hat-trick. I really should have had a word with Bukayo Saka, though. He's not had a good game, so I'm going to have a word with him now. Oh, Shockwist has got a knock. I hadn't noticed that. Right. Let's demand more from Saka. I'll leave Shockwist on for this highlight, and then we'll pull him and give him a break. We're 4-0 up. We don't need to risk him too much. Right, Kadioglu. Looking to get it somewhere, gets it to Marcotta, goes backwards again to Satalo. Satalo back to Kadioglu into Shockwist. Is Shockwist going to get one? No, gets it into Pitchford. It's a wonderful pass from Michael Shockwist, and Pitchford has got a second. The flag is not up, that should be given. I'll be a little bit cross if it's not given. Hands up. Hands up. It's been disallowed. No, the flag didn't go up, so that's 2 disallowed goals for Daniel Pitchford today. Because of course it is. How offside is it? It's a bit offside. It is a bit offside. I'm going to blame that on Shockwist because of his injury. Speaking of which, I hope this isn't a bad one. Foot injury. That could be just a bruise or something like that. I'm hoping it is. Right, Paniagua's going to come on instead. Paniagua, by the way, what a season he's had. He's up to a 4-star. If we are here for one more year, we've got to really think about our midfield because we've got so many good options. Him, Darvic and Shockwist all need to start, but they're 3 advanced playmakers, so I don't quite know how we're going to do that. I'll find a way. I'm sure I'll find a way. I'm going to take off Kadioglu for Catanano. And we'll keep him as a fullback on support. And then I'm actually going to take off Satalo for Levi Colwill. And let's just get Levi Colwill used to playing in our team a little bit. First be on the left. He's on the left. That works for me. It's 3 changes. We don't need to make any more than that. I'm quite content with that. Let's just see the game out from this point. If we get a 5th one, I'll be really happy. I'd quite like Daniel Pitchford to get another goal rather than 2 disallowed goals, but you know, it is what it is. We'll get what we'll get. Right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the second half and let's get to the end of the game. Hopefully we know more injuries because they have been piling up a little bit recently. Like little knocks here or there and then a few sort of serious ones. Regari, by the way, who's been out for months, is now nearly back as well. Just when we've sort of sorted out cover for left back when we probably now don't need to. Although it does free up Kadioglu to solely focus on the right hand side, so there is that too. Right. Are we going to get any more highlights before I make my final substitutions? They had a little bit of a spell in the second half, but not much of one. Getting no more highlights here. Right, Tokic has now picked up a knock as well. This is just how it's been going. Like, we've just been picking up knocks here, there, and everywhere. Right, George Armstrong is going to come on in defensive midfield just to cover there. Marcotta has got the ability to play as a right back, so got no issues with that. Saka's had a really poor game, so I'm going to bring on Mathis Tell, just get a few minutes in. Yavuz needs to get some game time as well. We have got a good squad of players, but we've almost got too many bodies at the moment. So we're having to kind of make do with the time that we can get them, which isn't very much for some of them. I'm a bit disappointed that Daniel Pitchford didn't manage to get more than 1 goal today, but I'll take a 4-0 win. I'll take him scoring, and I'll take a really good performance from Noah Darvic as well, although the injuries do concern me. They do. So how bad are those injuries? We'll go with that. We have qualified. That was confirmation in the team talk there that we have qualified. Right. Injuries. Let's have a quick double check. Let's see what we've got. Tokic, 1 to 3 days, he'll be fit for Man City. Shockwist, 1 to 3 days, he'll be fit for Man City. Fantastic. There we go. Qualified for the round of 16. No stinky playoffs for us, which is great. Got a little bit of money as well. It's not really going to make a dent in the issues that we've got. 3 goal involvements with Darvic as well. He is back to his swashbuckling best, which is great to see. By the way, that is the Carabao Cup final. I ain't showing you that. I forgot about it last season. are probably going to forget about it again this season. There's no point in showing you that, because look at it. They're 4th in the Championship. We're top of the Premier League. We're not showing you that. There's no point. Right, I'm going to go away, play the Man City game, and then we will be back for the final Champions League game. That is the wrong screen, Stu. And that is also the wrong screen, Stu. There we go. We'll be back for that final game against PAOK in the Champions League phase. Again, there's nothing really for that one. I don't really want to show you the FA Cup because we've done the FA Cup. The FA Cup's a little bit boring now. You can see won it there with Arsenal and won it there with Wolves. We don't need to win it for another season, so I'm quite content with what we've done. I'm quite content with it. And Arsenal have also won it relatively recently before we won it last season as well. So there's no real reason to show that. Again, this season is purely to focus on the Champions League. Right, I'm going to go away, play Man City. We'll be back for PAOK. PAOK? It's not even how you say it, Stu. PAOK. And if you were going to put it together, I don't think it would be PAOK, because the A would be after the O. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop pretending I know what I'm talking about. And I'll be back for the game against PAOK. Final league phase Champions League game. Bear with me. The go really eventful in the game against Manchester City. We won it. That was the main thing. We did win it by 2-1. Close game, but we were the rightful winners. And Daniel Pitchford continuing the trend, scoring more goals in cup competitions than he does in the Premier League. Well, we're not going to see whether he scores in the Premier League today, because the next game is that final league phase Champions League game against PAOK, who, by the way, play in the Stoichman Super League. They are, of course, a Greek team. We don't have that league loaded. However, they are the most recent winners of this league. So, in theory, they're a good team, but also the league is not loaded properly. So, well, it's not loaded at all. So, take it with a pinch of salt. This is probably going to be a bit of a rubber match. Rubber match? That's the wrong term. A bit of a, you know what I mean. It's going to be uneventful, but we can have a bit of fun with it at the very least. But let's see off the Champions League campaign in some style. Just confirm that is the table. What we're really fighting for here is potentially to go top, depending on how other results go. It's probably not going to happen though, but we have already cemented the top 8 place. So let's just see out the Champions League phase in some style. It is Voloshin in goal, Tokic, Sotalo, Colwill and Catanano in defence, Marcotta, Shoquist and Paniagua in midfield, with Iglesias and Martinelli supporting Pitchford up front. I'm tempted to put Segovia on the bench, to be honest with you, because it could be a bit of fun bringing him on. Yavuz is on the bench. I desperately need to get Yavuz and Laskowski some game time, to be fair, just for their sharpness. I'm not going to start them just yet, because, well, no, actually, Laskowski, I'm going to start him instead of Sotalo, because Sotalo is a good defender, obviously, but Laskowski's getting there and needs the game time, and I think this is an opposition that we can get away with playing him with. Tokic was rested in the last game, so he's got a bit more fitness as well. Colwill, I just want to get him more used to how we're playing, so I'm kind of forcing him ahead of what I'd like to. Harto on the bench, obviously, so let's just go with that 11, and let's just see whether we can get over the line with a final victory. It's at home as well. We should be winning this one. There should be no excuses, really. So let's just go out there and get the job done and do a professional job. This is the kind of game where sometimes Football Manager can just throw a banana skin at you. I'm not anticipating such a thing. I'm anticipating utter domination. But, you know, Football Manager's going to football manage, so we'll see what happens. But underway we are. I don't actually know where PAOK are. They're in the bottom half. I don't think they've got any chance of qualifying. So this is very much a bit of a one-sided race. But again, it can be quite fun to see the goals go in, if nothing else. If we get the goals going in, if we don't, obviously, then it'll be a bit depressing and disappointing. We'll probably see Daniel Pitchford get 3 disallowed goals, and I'll be very sad if that does happen. Manchester, that's not the word I was looking for. Manchester United are in the next grouping outside of the top 8, so I don't know why I brought up that. I was going to say Real Madrid, actually. I want to see who they were playing, just to judge whether we have a chance of going top. Obviously, they're not the only team who's at the top. There's 3 teams ahead of us. Right, loose pass there. We do give them a bit of possession here. We need to not really be doing that. Although if there's a game we can do it in, it's probably affordable to be this one, because we should be able to just win possession back. There we go. Laskowski wins it. Iglesias, Shoquist to Paniagua. Back to Iglesias now. Iglesias coming forward. He's looking for a goal, isn't he? Yes, he is. Raul Iglesias just forcing a goal through. It's taken us a bit longer than we'd like it to have taken, but it is 1-0 to Arsenal in the 22nd minute. And we just turned on the style here. Lovely little short passing here. Ends up being Paniagua who gets to Iglesias, who just goes on his little mazy run and decides he wants a goal and gets it. 1-0 to Arsenal. There's a little bit of me little bit of me that wants to not win the Champions League this season. I'd like one more season to see the players like Paniagua, Iglesias, Marcotta, Tokic properly grow. Catalano as well. Properly grow Laskowski into the players that we know that they can become, because we're going to miss a lot of their development. We've seen Paniagua kind of grow in front of our eyes since we signed him. We're watching Iglesias now come into his own as kind of the heir apparent to Bukayo Saka's position. That's penalty? No penalty. Okay, Marcotta heads it. We're a little bit loose on the passing here. We are taking, I think, this game a little bit for granted. It's kind of to be expected. Also, this is a game which has nothing on the line for us. No one's told Raul Iglesias that. He's seeing this as a showcase match. I mean, star rating wise, he's nowhere near Bukayo Saka. Attributes wise, he's nowhere near Bukayo Saka. Form wise, he could be forcing Saka out of the team here. As it stands at the moment, obviously, I don't know whether we're the second match day or the first match day. I didn't double check that. That will determine whether actually we have any chance of being at the top. Real Madrid, I don't believe are playing. No, they are actually. They're playing against Rapid Vienna. Napoli are playing on a different match day from the looks of things. So Napoli will be the one we don't know about. As it stands, though, we are going to be ahead of Real Madrid. Right, Catalano coming forward here, whipping it in. He's looking for Pickford, doesn't get anywhere near him. Gets to Iglesias, though, who gets the loose header. Going to whip it in, looking again for Pickford. It's hung up there, and there is Daniel Pickford with a goal that's getting checked for an offside. Oh my, I'm trying to think if I've known a striker or football manager who gets caught offside or close to offside as much as him. It's been given this time, which is good, but he does toe the line quite a bit. I don't know if it's something about his attacking movement, maybe, whether it's just a little bit on the borderline of being good to kind of a better level, like elite level, because he does get caught out quite often. Iglesias running a show, by the way, 2 goals and an assist. Paniagua and Martinelli also getting assists as well. 3-0 at half time. It's about what I would have hoped for as a minimum. I would have probably liked one more goal. Pickford just giving the ball away there, which is a bit disappointing. We've not really let them do much with the ball, and when we've let them have it for a bit, we let them have it, and then when we decide we want it back, we just go and take it off of them. However, they are coming forward here. I don't really like the fact that we've just let them concede for no reason. I'm actually going to shout at my defence. I'm going to tell them all. I was going to shout at them. We shouldn't be conceding in this game. We really shouldn't be. It's a team that the league isn't loaded for. There were players that were showing up with no attributes. When I was looking, they were just greyed out. We should not be conceding a goal against this team. I'm actually quite disappointed. I'm going to say that one. And then defenders, as a whole, I'm going to say that to them. Marcotta's having a good game. Shockquist, I'd like a little bit more from Shockquist, actually. But it's fine, I'll leave it there. To be fair, new player, young player. Get my excuses out early. Still finding fitness. Not 100% a first team player, but we've been using him. I'm getting my excuses out of the way. Right, going to second half. We've had a shout at some of them. Let's demand a bit more from them. Let's get a couple more goals. Right, we start with the highlight, Catalano. By the way, they've also been quite defensive in their play, so it is obviously going to be difficult to break down what is effectively a wall of bodies. If Paniagua had stuck that top bins, I would have been delighted. I'm tempted to put work ball into the box. We don't need to do anything. We're 3-1 up. We don't need to do anything. I would like more goals, obviously. Who doesn't want more goals? The Derby match has spoiled me. That 10-0 against Derby was something special because they're mid-table championship and we just utterly ran through them like they were like a non-league pre-season friendly, like in the best way. Shockquist with an ambitious pass there. Iglesias, Pickford. We've somehow maintained possession now, and I don't quite know how. Right, Tokic went for it. I mean, he's ruined it by going for it, really. I'm going to put work ball into the box on because we are being a bit wasteful here. Let's stop being wasteful. Let's try and keep the ball for a bit longer. And I'm going to go short passing if we're not already on that as well. Just to control things a little bit more because we're getting a bit wild with our passing and we're letting things like that happen. Right, Paniagua. He's got Tokic over here. Tokic, don't go for a goal. Just go for a cross. Right, he's been forced to have to go for a cross here. Whips it in. Not a great cross. Gets to Martinelli. Heads it across looking for Paniagua. Catanano. Is he going to go top bins? No. Goes into Iglesias. And unless any objections from offside, that is an Iglesias hat-trick. What a season he's ended up having since coming to us from his the end of his loan spell. He's been fantastic for us. Arms are up. It's a goal. 4-1. Iglesias has gone and got himself a cheeky hat-trick. I know we're in the middle of a highlight here, but yeah, I'm going to go slower, shorter and slower. We're going to do that. Let's go shorter and slower. Let's just take our time in finding the space. Right, Tokic. Waiting. Gets it into the Iglesias. Iglesias. Back to Tokic. Goes back to Laskowski's come so far forward because he can. The ball's ended up ricocheting to Shockwist. And Marcus Shockwist sneaks one through as well. 12th goal of the season. What did I tell you? Worried about those playmaking positions, about not goal scoring too much. He's got 12 goals from advanced playmaker. Bearing in mind he started the season as deep line playmaker, so he has done quite well. 5-1. Very happy with that. Very happy indeed. I'd like more. But if that's the end score, I'll take it. I won't be too unhappy with it. I don't like the fact that we let them score with what was at the time their only shot of the game. But it is what it is, you know. You have to deal with what you have in front of you. Right. Couple of changes. I'm going to take off Catanano and bring on Harto. Just to give Harto a bit of time in that position. And then I'm going to bring off Marcotta for George Armstrong again, to give him game time in that position as well. And I'm going to take off Iglesias for a bit of a weird one. I'm going to put Noah Darvic out on the right-hand side. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I'm just thinking of trying to get all of our best players into the team. Noah Darvic playing on the wing could be a way to do it. I just want to see how good he is over on this side as well. He can do that side as well. That's good to know. But yeah, let's just put Darvic out there and let's just see how he does. And then I'm tempted to make another change, but we'll leave it at that for the time being. I've not brought any of the players that I wanted to bring on who need fitness. To be fair, I started them actually. That's a fair point. Right, let's go with that. We'll keep Laskowski and Colwill on. I'll probably take Colwill off a little bit closer to the ends. I don't know who for, to be fair, because I don't think I've got any defenders left. So Tyler should be on the bench, to be fair. I'd love a sixth. A sixth would just kind of finish things off for me. I'd be really, really, really happy with this result. The only thing that made me happier was not conceding that goal, but obviously that did happen. Right, Colwell can come off. Give him a bit of a break. He's had a good game today. Let's give him a rest. And we'll bring on Yavuz on for Paniagua. And get Paniagua a bit of a rest and Yavuz some game time. Just missed a goal, by the way. It might be offside. Pitchford might have scored another one, but it might be offside. Let's just see what happens. I didn't see whether the flag was up or not. The hands are in the air. It's been given. And that is a Daniel Pitchford goal, I believe. Right, Shockwist. Him and Darvic work together well to intercept there. Darvic getting involved. Shockwist just runs in here. What a lofted little pass that is. Lovely. Oh, what a clever little pass from Shockwist. And again, Darvic getting involved. Cutting inside as the inverted winger. If he keeps doing that, then we might have found Darvic's position in the team when we've got Paniagua. But then the problem is Darvic is... I thought he just assisted a hat-trick there. The problem there is Iglesias, because Iglesias plays on the right, so then Darvic might have to go and play on the left. So really, last 4 minutes, let's... we're going to extremes here. We're going to put Martinelli over on this side, who's going to... I'm going to play him as a... winger on attacks. He can play as a winger, and then Darvic will move to an inverted winger on support. Let's just see whether Darvic can do it on that side as well. I'm sure he can. I'm sure he's good enough to do that. But I'm just curious to see for the last few minutes whether he can. But look at him getting involved here. Have we found like a cheat code for Noah Darvic? I mean, it might be that the cheat code is we don't start him, and this is the impact he has as a substitute. It could be. Right, corner. Changes have now come into effect. Martinelli to take the corner. Whipping it in, looking for the head of Satalo. Good save from the goalkeeper. It's going to be another corner. So we're going to repeat the process here. Okay, it's going to be another corner from Martinelli. We're not going to go with one of the other routines. It is going to be the normal one. Whips in. Satalo's underneath it again. Doesn't even go for it that time. Darvic picking it up though. He's got support with Martinelli, who went for the goal. Weirdly, that had been a ridiculous goal to score. It would have had to have been a big mistake from the goalkeeper. 6-1, I'm more than happy with that. Wolverhampton Wanderers have lost to Newcastle, by the way, on the final game of the league phase. That was a good performance. Really happy with that. Really happy with both games, to be fair. Let's just have a quick look. So, final standings. We were on the final match day. All teams have played 8 games. So, where did Wolves ended up? When looks at things dropping out of the top 8, because they did, as I mentioned, lost against Newcastle. Newcastle, who really, I think, helped themselves out with that win. Juventus 4, Dortmund 4. What a result that is. Spurs and Champions League winners Leverkusen drawing. Leverkusen, by the way, not finishing in the automatic spots, so they obviously had a heck of a run last season and very much back down to earth now. And then teams that are missing out completely: Anderlecht, Salzburg, looks like they were never in it because they've gone Urban Rapid as well. Spurs out as well. That's a big kind of a big scalp down there. Also, I thought I was going to say that's Salzburg, isn't it? So it's not Leipzig, because Leipzig were in the top there. Real Madrid did finish top. We ended up finishing second with the best goal difference in the competition so far. So lovely stuff. Right. That is going to be it for today. What a performance again by Iglesias. Absolutely superb. When are we going to be back? So, it's going to be Champions League. I don't quite know when Champions League is going to be. It's going to be somewhere in here, I'm sure. It might even be around here. So, there might be a big gap between this game and the next game. So, bear with me. There might be a bit of a time jump, but we'll go through everything. But again, to confirm, we are through to the round of 16. So, the playoffs that will happen around here, not our problem at all. Can't wait to see who we get drawn against, and fingers crossed it's a route to a second Champions League final in a row. Only this time, hopefully, it goes better than the first. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on there for me, and just hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up with what happens on the channel. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.